This week on Premier Preps, we've got a section finals rematch between 12 Bridges and Casa Roble football, a pair of potential playoff flag football teams in Antelope and Vanden, and the top volleyball team entering the week, Rocklin, taking on Del Oro. Plus, I'll share with you the story of a courageous Rocklin coach and the incredible fight for his life ahead of his son's senior year. Keep it locked on Premier Preps. Welcome to Premier Preps. I am your host, Nick Pecoraro. Thank you, as always, for spending some time here. I know we all love watching football on Sundays, so it means a lot that you're here with us watching these great Sacramento area student athletes do their thing on Premier Preps. Hey, I love watching football on Sundays just as much as anyone, but it doesn't really get much better than what we had on Friday. A Sac Joaquin Section Championship rematch between Casa Roble, the reigning champ who won that title game with a thrilling finish last November, and 12 Bridges, who reached that title game in just its second year of varsity existence. The Raging Rhinos still with just a little bit of a sour taste in their mouths from last year. They were looking to cleanse their palates against the Rams on Friday in Orangevale. Gotta love when you can squeeze in a section championship rematch on the gridiron. 12 Bridges locked in on Friday, looking for some payback. Rams lineman Sunia Vuki getting his team fired up with the haka. Hey, that'll get anybody fired up. Here we go. First quarter, 12 Bridges delivers the first blow. Connor Flaherty, escaping pressure, heaves it downfield to a wide-open Isaiah Rodriguez. That's a 56-yard hookup to get the Raging Rhinos out to a 7-0 lead. But the Rams respond in kind. Casa QB Aiden Lopez with a deep ball of his own. He finds Anthony Maher for a 53-yard gain, and that sets up this play. Lopez, the Ethan Horner, who was the hero in last year's section title game, maybe giving the Rhinos a little PTSD, and we're all knotted up at 7 apiece. On 12 Bridges' next drive, quarterback Connor Flaherty decides to keep it himself and show that he's not afraid of contact. A big gain sets up this score. Chase Willidko from a short distance, a 2-point conversion, and 12 Bridges leads 15-7. And Willidko wasn't done making plays. This time, he flags down an interception off a tipped pass, and the Rhinos get the ball back. And 12 Bridges head coach Chris Bean said after the game that it all starts with this guy, number 8, Isaiah Rodriguez. A short pass from Flaherty, and he turns it into a 30-yard score. A little high step in, and it's 22-7 after 1. Second quarter, Flaherty wants to show off his wheels, and that's a smart decision because he picks up 43 yards and gets to the Casa 25. A few plays later, Flaherty finds Gavin Rappa, who wrestles the ball away. Give me that ball, it's mine! A 14-yard score, and it's 30-7 Rhinos. We're still in the first half, and this is the big blow right here. Rams punting to Isaiah Rodriguez. We called him Isaiah Ankle Snatchers last year. He doesn't quite collect any here, but he does what he has to do for a 51-yard punt return. 12 Bridges leads 37-7 before halftime. One more play from Chase Willidko, though, and this dude was all over the field on Friday. Everyone from 12 Bridges said he was going to have a breakout year. And speaking of breakout years, how about Braden Ward? That's his 8th TD of the year, and the Raging Rhinos roll 51-7 and get a little payback from that section title loss.
Since we got the schedule and since that night, we knew we wanted to come back and play them in their home field and get the W. So nothing will be worse than that last year's game, but this makes up for it a little bit.
Let's take a look now at our Premier Preps Top 10 football rankings. After 4 weeks down, I cannot believe a quarter of the season has already flown by. League play begins for most next Friday, so let's take a look at what we've got this week. Let's pivot to the flag football field now, where the Antelope Titans enjoyed some playoff success last year and is a program still on the rise in 2024 with an 8-2 record entering Thursday, when the Titans would host a program hoping to have some playoff success of its own. In its first year of existence, the Vanden Vikings were in town for one final non-league tune-up on Thursday night. Antelope possibly looking for a push into our Premier Preps Top 10 flag football rankings. Vanden coming in to try to slow the Titans down on Thursday night. But in the first half, the Titans come out firing on their opening drive. Izzy Siegler finds Sydney Sharp, and a nice catch and run down the sideline for Sharp, and that sets up this play. Siegler looking for Maddie Corey, and it's the old hey diddle diddle, Maddie Corey up the middle. She goes 24 yards untouched into the end zone, 7-0 Titans early. Antelope would get the ball back on a turnover. Siegler this time with the ball fake, and she keeps it herself for a 6-yard score, and it's 14-0 with 4.5 to play in the first half. But the Titans were far from finished. They kept applying the defensive pressure as Deanna Richardson steps into this interception to give Antelope one more chance to score before the half. Siegler doesn't like what she sees at first, but what she does like is this 25-yard gain to Nikki Nguyen, who hauls in a nice catch. And then Siegler once again to her favorite target on Thursday. That would be Maddie Corey. 20-0 Titans at the break. And this poor cheer squad had to do push-ups for every point scored after every Antelope touchdown on Thursday. But that's all right. Pretty soon they'll be showing off the gun show. And hey, speaking of the gun show, Izzy Siegler was all over the place with her cannon. This time she hits Deanna Richardson for a 22-yard score, and the Titans are rolling. Vanden trying to get something going here. Sophomore QB Amora Hutton with a nice pass to Cadence Holloway to get across midfield. By far the Vikings' best drive of the evening, but it would stall as Hutton tries to pick up the first down herself, but Kanani White is there to say, "You shall not pass!" Titans take over on downs. Siegler again going deep for the end zone, but Vanden DB Taylor Isan does a nice job of breaking the pass up, but it only delayed the inevitable as Antelope gets back into the end zone. Siegler tosses it up to Corey for her third touchdown of the game. Titans lead 34-0, but they still have one more highlight left in them. They show that they can run the ball too. Here's Neha Bailey looking like Ricky Bobby saying, "I want to go fast." 54 yards to the house, and Antelope improves to 9-2 with a 41-0 win.
I think we really came out with a lot of energy. We kind of played our game, didn't let anything affect us, didn't get in our heads, and we played our best game. I think it's kind of just our team bond. Everybody gets along really well. We all work together really well, and so I think that really shows on the field, and we're able to play our best game when we all enjoy being around each other.
Time now to bring you the Premier Preps Girls Flag Football Top 10 for this week. Can't get enough high school sports in Sacramento? Well, Premier Preps has got you covered like no one else. You want game highlights? We got you. You want local insight? We got you. You want inspirational feature stories? We've got you. How about exclusive interviews with prominent players and coaches in the area? We got you. Scores, updates, top plays, and much, much more every Sunday at 5 o'clock during the high school season on YouTube. We look back at the week that was and keep you updated on who's got next. So follow along on social media and subscribe on YouTube to Premier Preps with me, Nick Pecoraro, because it's giving Sacramento high school sports the coverage it deserves. Rocklin football coach Mike Cunningham has long been a staple in the youth sports community in Placer County. His son Mikey is looking to help the Thunder repeat as section champions this year, but after a sudden illness struck Coach Cunningham late last year, his family and the whole Rocklin community had to prepare for the worst. There isn't much that Rocklin senior Mikey Cunningham can't do on a football field. All-league defensive back, team captain, section champion.
I feel like I'm a big impact. I'm a leader on the team. We just voted captains. I got a captain, so that's a big role, and that makes me want to step up more as a leader.
He plays with a chip on his shoulder on the field. He's a very intense individual, loves to train, fell in love with this game a long time ago and hasn't left it. Won't stop even when we tell him to stop.
Cunningham is poised to help Rocklin repeat as section champions this year, but it was after Rocklin's championship run last year that the Cunningham family's lives were flipped upside down.
Getting ready for our section championship game in November of 2023, so just this last November, and started feeling just a little bit fatigued. Thought it was because of work and coaching a lot during that time.
After some blood work and a bone marrow biopsy, Cunningham's doctors revealed that he had acute myeloid leukemia, an aggressive form of bone marrow cancer.
That day he said I needed to rush down to the hospital so they could start chemotherapy in order to even remotely save my life.
Cunningham would require a bone marrow transplant, for which the odds of finding were not in his favor. So intense was the chemotherapy at times that Cunningham felt he had to have some hard conversations with his family, especially Mike Jr.
That was an interesting experience because I get choked up talking about it, but to talk to the firstborn son of your family and just basically say, hey, I'm not sure how this is going to go, but I need you to step up in ways that you shouldn't have to right now. I need you to be a man of the house. I need you to help your mom in any way, in every way. I need you to, take your brother on, help him out. No sibling fighting right now.
I felt like I was alone at the time. I felt like I was alone, but then my consciousness made me realize, you need to step up. The struggle I saw my mom go through definitely made me a better person and stay more positive, because just seeing her go through that made it hard. But that also made me push myself to be better and to encourage the whole family to stay positive.
Luckily for the Cunninghams, the entire Rocklin community kept sending positivity as well. Cunningham Strong became the town's rallying cry for some of its most beloved members.
They knew that I was a coach and I've been a coach for a long time, and I always taught our kids how to battle adversity. And, when things are hard, you don't give up, you just push harder. And I found myself in the moment where the things that I preached as a coach, I was living, right? And I was going to be an example for my family, and I had no choice but to fight like heck to save my life as well as be around. And what my community did is, it's something that I can't even express in words, my gratitude for it. It breaks me up every time I actually talk about it, and it's rough. It's rough to go through that, but what that community did with my family is a reason and testament of why I'm still here.
Well, it's not really a community, it's more of a family, and brothers, sisters, and you got family around you. And it helped me realize how much good of people these people are over here, and how well I can trust them, and just how close we are. And it kept a smile on my face instead of being down in the dumps.
After what seemed like ages to the Cunningham family, doctors were able to finally find a bone marrow donor.
When he got a donor, it was like a 1 in 14 million chance or something like that. And it was a perfect 21-21 matchup. And that was just the first good piece of news that helped me stay positive and helped me keep going. And then from there, it's normally just been a gradual just slope climbing up.
And although he's not completely out of the woods just yet, Cunningham received some positive news in the weeks leading up to Mikey's senior year.
I had my biopsy readout report today, and I am in complete remission.
To get a breath of fresh air that, you know, there is a real chance I'm going to survive this and see the light in the tunnel. And that kind of stuff right there, that voice right there, those kids, that's another reason why I'm still out here and living, man. This is what I live for. I love this community and I love this football program. And when my doctor gave me that kind of news, man, it was badass. It was badass.
Throughout the peaks and the valleys of his dad's fight for his life, Mikey Jr. channeled his motivations toward his senior football season.
I felt it more of as like motivation, like in the off season to train harder, to grind harder, and just to go out every day and not take it for granted.
He trained harder than I ever seen him train, which was with his coping mechanism with it. He grinded harder than I ever thought he could.
Mikey also learned that he can be positive not only for his own family, but for others as well.
I carry myself higher now because I'm more of a leader, and I just have to treat every other person, even if they're worried about going to school, like a freshman kid, a kid that sits by himself at lunches, anything like that. Me being not the football player I was, I feel like I would just walk past those people instead of like greeting them and just like a fist bump every now and then. It's just something small like that. That just helps. Like football made me more of the positive person I am.
He took on the weight of our entire family in that moment. I mean, he rose to an occasion that was not supposed to happen, and he did it with grace and he did it with poise, probably better than I would have as a young man.
As Rocklin fights its way toward a section repeat, the Cunninghams continue to fight with resolve for each other and gratitude for a complete stranger.
My donor, I don't know him, and in 6 months I'm going to petition to meet him, and I can't wait to meet the young man and just tell him, look at the ripple effect that you had, because it's real.
From Rocklin High School, I'm Nick Pecoraro, and you are watching Premier Preps. Hey, one of the cool new features on Premier Preps this year is taking a look at some of the top student sections in the area. So if you see me at a game heading your way with the Premier Preps camera, you know that that is your cue to turn up and show me that you can be the premier student section of the week. This week, we've got Inderkum striking up the band and getting ready for some Tigers football. Hey, remember, even if I'm not at your game, tag me with a short clip on social media of your student section going wild, and we'll see if we can get you a spot on the show. Well, the past few weeks have seen the Rocklin Thunder sit on top of our Premier Preps girls volleyball rankings, a team that started 5 sophomores last year and reached the state Final Four is back with a new coach, but not just any coach. The state's all-time leader in wins and a multiple-time national champion, Brett Almasan Cesar. The Thunder stormed into Sierra Foothill League play this week and had a tough task against a solid Del Oro team looking for an upset on Wednesday night. Del Oro flying under the radar a bit this year. What a win it would be to knock off Rocklin, the #1 team in our Premier Preps top 10. Could it happen? Let's find out. The first point of the game, some hustle from Rocklin libero Mackenzie Murphy, hitting the floor and keeping the play alive for Gianna Bogan. The point goes to the Thunder. Later in the first set, Del Oro trying to make its move as Sophia Sampson hammers it home. She had a big night for the Golden Eagles. But Rocklin was rolling in the first set. Julia Bray with the big swing, 1 of 5 kills on the night for the senior. And then Gianna Bogan checking in on somebody's dental plan in the back row. Thunder wins set 1, 25-21. Switching sides now for set 2, Golden Eagles come out strong as Sophia Sampson with the smash. She led her team with 17 kills on Wednesday. And on the other side, Bogan goes up hard, gets rejected, takes another crack at it and gets the point with the softer touch. But Del Oro would take set 2 with Bella Rossi sneaking one in to win 25-18. Now, Rocklin looked like they came out angry in set 3. Gianna Bogan goes down the sideline for one of her game-high 20 kills. And then this is a thing of beauty. Ava Pabalade sets Riley Hines. The timing is impeccable between these two. Rocklin goes up 11-5, but hold up, wait a minute. Dio's trying to get back in it. Rossi feeds Grace Cool, and the Golden Eagles are on the comeback flight. And one more time, what's cooler than being cool? Grace Cool, of course. Del Oro goes up 2-1 and has Rocklin on the ropes. To set 4 now, Pabalade gives it up to Hines once again. Pabalade had 53 assists on Wednesday. And then this time she feeds Bogan, but Gia Hoffman gets the up, and Bella Rossi, the setter, gets the block. Back and forth we go in the 4th. But Rocklin would pull even at 2 games apiece as Addie Scheitling goes down the line. Folks, we've got ourselves a ball game. 5th set, Grace Cool. Ice cold with 15 kills on Wednesday, but the Thunder starts to pull away. Addie Scheitling was huge late in this game. She had 9 kills overall. And on match point, Mackenzie Murphy has an ace up her sleeve. It's the first time Rocklin's gone 5 this season, but the Thunder pulls out the win.
I'd say we learned that we can come back from low moments and high atmospheres and just bring our thermostat down and play at a cool level. I think we're here to prove that we are here to stay and we will make it far.
Plenty of schools making their case for a top 10 appearance. This is how the Premier Preps girls volleyball rankings shake out after just 4 weeks of the season. Time now for our Infinite Performance Plays of the Week. Hey, if you are a student athlete who's dealing with an injury and are looking for ways to rehab, or even if you're just looking for ways to prevent injuries, or even if you're just a regular old Joe like me, make sure that you look up Infinite Performance Physical Therapy. Dr. Janae Young goes above and beyond with programs for your specific needs, and she'll make sure to get you on the right track. Let's dive right into it, shall we? This one was sent in from Christian Brothers, the Falcons in OT against Vista del Lago. Gabriella Devlin finds a wide open Maricela Gaeta in the end zone for the walk-off tutty to keep Christian Brothers undefeated at 9-0. Up next, we got Antelope flag football receiver Nikki Nguyen, who reaches up and spears it for the catch. Nice concentration on a tough play. The Titans are a team to watch. At number 3, we got Rocklin libero Mackenzie Murphy, who lays out for the dig on the very first rally of the game, and it pays off because Rocklin gets the point. Thunder with a 2-0 start to league play. This one sent in from John Swidensky, super sideline reporter for Del Oro. They weren't even sure if they'd have a game this week. They throw one together against Acalanes, and Brock Sherman goes for an 82-yard score in a huge win for the Golden Eagles. And at number 1, we've got Isaiah Rodriguez of 12 Bridges. He's zigging while the defense is zagging for a 51-yard punt return. The Raging Rhinos win big, and that's our Infinite Performance Play of the Week. That's it for this week's episode of Premier Preps. Thank you so much for watching. A special shout out goes out to the Cunningham family out in Rocklin for sharing their amazing story. So glad to see Big Mike out and about and beating this thing and getting to watch his son Mikey do his thing on the field this year. Hey, if you have a story similar to what you just saw on Premier Preps this week and would like to share it on the show, please send me a message. I would love to feature you in an upcoming episode. And of course, if you would like to support this show, send me a message as well. All of my contact info will be listed at the end of this video. And hey, we hope to see you again next week as we go full throttle into the league portion of the schedule. More great football, flag football, and girls volleyball on the schedule coming your way right here on Premier Preps. I'm Nick Pecoraro. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next week.